playing.
Oh, hot dang.
It always bucks like a dang old Bronco and then just smooth sailing.
Oh, man.
It's
What's
so
going on?
lush. Man, nothing, dude. I ain't been up to a dadgum thing today. How about you, man?
Not a whole heck of a lot. Man,
Dig it.
have you got your refund on Cyberpunk 2027 or whatever the hell it is now?
I saw an interesting
2077.
I saw an interesting post about that yesterday, and someone made a really good point. I thought they made a real good point because it's the first thing that I thought of when Cyberpunk 2077 is the worst game of all time. Oh my god, it's the worst thing ever. Oh god, I'm like, the last time people freaked out this bad was over No Man's Sky. Have you heard anything about No Man's Sky recently?
I haven't. No.
There's a reason for that.
Mhm.
The industry decided No Man's Sky was trash because it was. Then people that liked it got into it and modified it and tweaked it and turned it into a masterpiece. Once you got it out of the studio and the fans took it over, it became great. Hopefully that's what happens here. But the main thing that I don't understand about people complaining about Cyberpunk is like there's problems with the PS5 and the Xbox One. That's hardly unprecedented.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything from the PC gaming contingent. Apparently they all love it, and it's like, look, man, we should have worked harder on the platforms. Yeah, except that's not who pays the bills. So I know I'm supposed to hate Red Biscuit or whatever the hell the name of that studio is. It's like, dude, who gives a shit? I don't understand why it's such a big damn deal. Well, it was a buggy game sold for the PlayStation 5, and it's like, wow, welcome to 2K
Every game that will get dropped this
WWE
year.
2Ks. Dude, yeah, it's like I thought this was the case with everything. Like, man, if you're still paying, I'd hate to be that way, but it's true, man. If you are still paying over the odds for like platform games now, that's just, man, I don't understand how you haven't learned your lesson yet. Like you and I talked about, man, I stopped at 3. I don't need a PlayStation 4 because the only things I was interested in, people said were crap. 2K's supposed to be crap and FIFA's supposed to be crap, and I'm like,
well, I'm out.
yeah, it's like, dude, at least you know.
I just found it hilarious, and I want to be in the office for the guy that's like, my job is to generate character junk. Okay, don't come at me because the pants guy didn't do his job.
There is absolutely no way that's an accident. Come on, man. There's no way.
I made a promise to my grandmother. Every game I work on would have Keanu's junk in it, and I'm not breaking that promise.
I'm not breaking that promise. I love you, Nana. Here's Keanu's dick. I love you, Nana. But yeah, it's so stupid. It's all like, yeah, man, the guys like shoot each other and their pants fall off. I'm like, that's a design, baby. You have to go out of your way to do that. It's like, come on, man. I don't anymore, man. Honest to God, especially if it's freaking social media telling me anything, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's all like, dude.
They pre-sold this game. It's the highest pre-sales in history of the world. They built in we'll just give it back because they hadn't bought shit in the first place. So it'll get us some press and we'll get talked about.
I think so too. I swear. I think that's like the short-term goal of most things in the world right now. You hear it a little bit with the sorry to talk politics, but it's like, well, all Trump is doing is ripping off his base and his donors and getting money, and I'm like, that's all any of them do. It's more of the same where it's like, I get frustrated. There's two camps that I get frustrated with. One, oh my God, he's just so unfit and he's awful and la-di-da. And the other side is, nah, he's not a normal politician. Bullshit. Ripping off the people that puts you in office. He's just like every other politician in that regard. Again, it's like it only comes down to his potty mouth. That's it. People that don't like the stuff he says, oh, he's so uncouth and he's not fit for office. And the people that like that, well, he's not like other politicians. Well, the shit that actually matters, like, stealing your money, he's right at home in D.C., man. Yeah. So they'll miss him because I know that.
Well, then with the game plan.
Oh, boy, I'm here to tell you, I know MSNBC will miss him, man. They are still every single day. People are like, well, MSNBC is just obsessed with Russiagate. Man, if you thought they had a hard-on for Russia, you should hang out and listen to them talking about, oh, it's a coup. He's gonna overthrow the government. It's a coup. It's a Trump-backed coup. I'm like, I know that this is y'all's cash cow heading up the old conveyor belt to get the bolt in the forehead. And it makes you sad, but you're pathetic.
Yeah.
Pathetic, man. Anyhow, sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked on that because I'm with you. The Cyberpunk thing, it was all like, I just kept seeing that commercial and I'm like, all right, man, okay, cool. All right, cool. And that thing's not out for 12 hours, bro. That's just bullshit. That sucks. Like, good Lord, man. How did this. Like we said, man, because that was my whole thing. Was people were like, yeah, man, there's like computerized junk in it. I'm like, I told my buddy Aaron, I was like, man, I'm thinking that maybe my hero is Dr. Manhattan. And if they can put him in a movie with his dong hanging out, we can do that for Keanu too.
Yeah.
My two favorite heroes are Dr. Manhattan and Neo, and I was like, hey, what if you could have them at the same time?
Yeah, make that happen.
That's why Neo's dick is blue. People didn't get it.
It's Easter egg.
I'm an
Everybody wants
artist.
the Easter eggs.
For real.
These days. Like, don't blame me. The pants guy over there. Tough.
Yeah, seriously. I designed the dick like I was supposed to. It's not my fault.
God.
Studio said they wanted junk. Junk I provided. You're welcome, America.
Work hard.
Stupid. Sorry.
No, nobody's going to cash in those refunds because they ain't got that part of the game yet anyway.
I guess that's what it just, I don't know. It didn't seem as unprecedented. I guess it is the pre-order being so big and stuff like that, but it's like, yeah, man, there's I don't know. I can't remember the last thing that came out that people didn't lose their minds over in disappointment, with the exception, to be fair, sorry, with Shadowlands. With Shadowlands took about 6 weeks. I think it was about 6 weeks where there was the release date, and then Blizzard came out and said, guys, it ain't ready. We're not putting it out. And the entire community was like, cool, thanks for the heads up. Honestly, nobody was pissed. Nobody got mad. Nobody did nothing. And have you heard any negativity about Shadowlands? Except in the last 48 hours, everyone's like, Torghast is too damn hard. So they've gone in and modified it because it was killing all of us.
Yeah.
But as far as the game itself, pulled back, put some more work into it, and released a really good product. But again, that's PC. I love consoles, man. I'm a console gamer up until recently and still am for most everything. But hey, man, that's always been, if you want the best the studios have to offer, that is the format. That's how you do it, man. I just don't do it because, well, I have a computer I can play games on now, but I just want the one. That's all I need. So I'm cool with my old school platform stuff, but like we talked about several times on here, the new school stuff, I don't have any faith in it at all. And ultimately, the price tags keep going up, and the percentage of the content that you actually get that's not downloadable is lower and lower all the time. And it's like, that doesn't make no sense, man.
Yeah, I don't understand the price difference that you don't get for not getting the full thing.
I totally agree. I'm like, I don't know why in the world I would sign up to do this.
And I know I'm not the one to ask when it comes to games these days, because if it doesn't come on a cartridge, then I'm kind of not interested.
I can dig it. I can totally dig that, man.
When I got it Sightbike, you got it Sightbike. Now, I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm just saying I got it.
Just saying I have it. That's all that matters, man.
I overheat like some bitch all the time. I haven't learned in a long time.
I don't learn nothing. I won't think.
No.
Wonder why I always overheat on Excitebike? America. I'm free to do that, by God. I'll burn that son of a bitch up. I don't care if everyone damn race.
I'll run back to that bike like,
Ain't gonna tell me what to do, man.
No, sir.
No. Hell no. Hell no, get out of here.
Hell no. Get out here.
Hell no, get out of here. Then run away with the Excitebike guy.
Yep. Man, that other meltdown that most everybody had was, it's two people, but the first one is kind of, it's more, I mean, it's more sweet to me than it is people trying to make fun of Smokey Robinson. And I don't know if you saw the story, but
I did.
I would like to think that Smokey Robinson has been famous long before I was born. And since I've been here, I don't think he needs to be on Cameo. I just think he wants to be to interact with people and stay relevant. And he's he's just trying to do a solid for this guy that paid him to do it, and he's just shows us how sweet of a guy he is. But give him the phonetic pronunciation, because there's several times I've come across that word when I was like, "What? Now, how do you pronounce that?" Oh yeah, oh yeah. So he's talking to this uh the son of a friend of his from back in the day that I'm sure he has no recollection of whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's like, said, happy Chanukah. I don't know what that Chinooka. I don't know what that is, but hope you have a good one. Just sweet old guy. He's like 80 something, and people are trying to take him to task over it to begin with. People are like, come on now.
I am hoping. My one thing with Smokey Robinson's Chinooka wishes are I need confirmation that Smokey Robinson's what was it? It was cameo, isn't it?
Yeah.
I need confirmation that Smokey Robinson's cameo is written, produced, and directed by Smokey Robinson, because that way, if Smokey doesn't know, he doesn't know. And if Smokey doesn't mind telling on himself, like, I'm not sure what that is, but hope you have a good one, that's okay. But if there's anybody else involved, and you got two people that are that dumb, that's painful, man. That's painful. I can understand Smokey being that dumb, because Smokey's been rich as crap since he was 20 years old, and that's okay. Hey, man, those are super wealthy people are insulated. They don't know what the world is. It's okay. You ever heard of Hanukkah? You never heard of Hanukkah. And if you've never seen it with that spelling, I definitely understand, because that was a relatively new one on me too. But it made me think of Comedy Central did that movie The Hebrew Hammer about like the detective in New York, and that's exactly he's in school, and the teacher's like trying to be nice, and it's all like, okay kids, we're having our Christmas party and it's gonna be fantastic, but let's not forget to wish, I don't remember what his name was, I'm gonna say David, I don't mean to be racist, but David, I'm gonna pretend that was his name, but let's include our classmate David, and let's wish him a happy Chinooka Day 7. I always remembered Chinooka Day 7 because she's so peppy when she says it. And then Smokey, I'm like, oh man, but that's my thing. Look, people make mistakes all the time, but if there's anybody shooting that video and they see that and they're like, we got it, Smokey, it's fine. I'm like, both of y'all need to be just playing. Smokey, he gets a pass, but if anybody else let him get away with that and not explain, they need a punch in the noggin, man. Like, come on, y'all, Lord.
And I think that's kind of where the issue is. Like, I have no idea how Cameo works. I'm not on it, obviously.
Yeah. I'm getting rich over here, baby.
I don't know if that got published by him, or how much of a D-bag does it make you to get that video and be like, no, I've got to put this out and show this guy to be old so-and-so or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, hey, man, look, I don't understand. It's one of the things, you and I talked about it back in the day, the first, and this is far and away not the first high-profile cameo ever, it's just the first one I ever saw, was the dude talking to Alexa Bliss. And I bring it up all the time. Excuse me. Because I'm very typically mean to Alexa Bliss, because it's just not my thing. But she really handled that well. It was real cool, and I'm like, oh man, because I don't know, I thought she handled it real well. I brought that up for some damn reason, but I guess the point, I don't know what I was going to say. I'm sorry, I had a point for bringing that up, but it was like, some people handle cameo well, some people don't. But yeah, as far as like when you get the thing back and then you show it to other people, I don't know. The Alexa Bliss thing, I think, is kind of cool, especially if the kid's cool about it. Because he wasn't, I don't think, if I remember correctly, he wasn't exactly dickish about it either. I mean, it's not like, oh, come on. He didn't do that shit, thank God. But yeah, it's like, okay, so you paid Smokey to do this, and then he did it, and then you didn't like the way he did it. I don't know what people expect. I'm not sure what you think these celebrities owe you for your $80 or whatever it cost.
And it very well could just be somebody just that excited. I got my interview from, but Dad, it's Smokey. And I had to post it on my page. and I was fine with it. And then it's the culture that has to find the problem with it. That very well could have been the case where he's like, I just wanted to post it because I thought it was cool as shit. And then, so it may not have been whoever posted it that said, no, I got to take Smokey down. Somebody's finally got to do it. Because there are far more stories that I've heard of Smokey being just an all right dude. For me, not to just think that it's just a guy in his 80s misreading a word wrong and just going to be like, what's that now?
He just don't know. I'm like, that's my thing too. Is like, man, y'all couldn't help Smoke out, man. Come on, dude.
Come on, guys, man. All the guys I knew that celebrated Chinooka were doing all my contracts. I didn't do none of this stuff. I was up there singing, take a good look at my face. So, but the other, I think this other story was a bit of a D-bag move because everybody was supposed to, and years after the fact, we've kind of seen where some of the on-set meltdowns from certain people to kind of like, Christian Bale was 100% in the right on this one. Now, tact may not be quite what you wanted it to be, but you never know how many times he had told old buddy, please don't do that. Please don't do that. And the last time, finally, just had enough. And I think Tom Cruise had enough. And because everybody thought, well, people going to take him to task. But you don't know how. I'm convinced that this was the first time he came across everybody doing God knows what, and on this set and this, office part of the business, and he's just found I just had enough. Whoever videoed that and posted it, I think that was more of the D-bag move. But and everybody thought, well, this is going to take Tom Cruise down, and everybody I've heard has come out like he's in the right in everything he says.
Hey, Tom is the face of Scientology. It hasn't dinged him a bit. B, Tom basically kidnapped American sweetheart Katie Holmes and basically made her have him, squoze him an offspring.
Yes.
And it didn't ding him a bit. Go back to Mimi Rogers. Didn't ding him a bit. Tom is untouchable. We all like Tom. I'm sorry, man. Y'all keep trying, keep pushing. You can do whatever you want. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But to your point, especially in this case, where he's right. Yeah. People are going to agree with him. I'm totally with you. It's like it wouldn't have mattered if he shot somebody. Yeah. People like Tom Cruise are going to like him. But especially in this situation where it's like, no, I see where Tom's coming from, and it's not hard. Like it's not hard to see where he's coming from.
I mean, that's where you can say what you want about Mission Impossible movies. We're not over here making films. We're making movies, and we're not going to have. And I think part of what he was trying to get at was he was trying to say, and he could have fired those people on the spot and still been right. He didn't do that, but he was trying to say, like, I think he was trying to do that argument, like, whatever happens to y'all, I'm going to be fine. But think about the people back home at work ain't going to work if this shit gets shut down. So think about that. And I just, I think everybody thought, oh, this is going to be the Tom Cruise killer. It's like, it's not going to go down that way.
It's the truth. It's the truth. People are weird about all the COVID stuff. And it's like, look, if it's not politicians, nobody cares. I just don't know that many people are going to the mat over this shit. Pardon me, I just don't. It's like, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. I don't know. It's just, you're going to do what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. It's fine. It's all gravy, man. But yeah, Tom wanting to, I'm just with you. I thought he was totally right. And I think most people took it that way. But there's so much stuff in cancel culture where it's like, if you've got somebody that's got a lot of money acting like a prick on tape, you think you've won automatically, and it's like, man, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. John Mayer still has a career. Do you know why? Because lots of chicks want to jump in the sack with him. And he is a walking pile of shit. But hey, man, he's got lots of fans. So look, they still like him. All right, that's a stupid way to say it, but it's true. So look, man.
Tom's the same way, like what we're talking about. It's like I hear far more stories, and I've seen him in interviews and stuff. Well, I just don't believe he jumps to that conclusion on the first offense. How many times had this happened and him be like, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing.
Yeah.
And you get to that third or fourth times, like, I got to say something.
Yeah. Tapes of those don't leak. You're right. If you've got your camera on, you got your phone turned on, when he's telling you, man, let's watch out for this. Well, it's not nearly cool enough to upload. You're totally right, man.
Screw your Yankee blue jeans.
I was thinking, what it's making me think of, man, is Bill Murray and Scrooge. Hold the hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Hold the hammer. Would you please, for the love of God? So this was Tom Cruise's For the Love of God, but he'd already had the first two where he's asking you nicely.
And for somebody to have a camera ready from jump, this could not have been the first time that happened. I just refuse to believe that.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like we've done this, we've framed this up before, waiting for the blow up. That's a good point, man.
And I would imagine he's talking about he's on the phone with producers every night. He's probably a producer on this very movie.
Oh, sure.
And that probably would affect his bottom line, and that ain't going to happen. And like I think, like what we've talked about many times before, where I think Metallica could have come off a lot better on the Napster argument. Like, we're not doing this for ourselves. We're doing this for the people that aren't Metallica yet and are now never going to be because of it. I think that's what he was getting at. It's like, listen, man, whatever happens with this movie, I'm going to move on. I'm going to be fine. There's a lot of people that ain't if this goes the wrong way. So you can disagree with the way he said it, how he said it. Lord knows I've got a history of thinking probably could have said that a little bit better. Yeah. And luckily mine aren't on video. Praise God.
I think about that with anybody that's like in school now, like and like little kids now who, I mean, it's bad enough the kids that grew up with like camcorder parents. That's bad enough, man. But those typically stay in the house. Everything's online now, man. I can't imagine how hard that is. It's like, God dang, dude. Growing up sucks bad enough as it is, man. But if you make stupid decisions and they wind up on the internet and live in perpetuity, I'm like, that sucks. I think that sucks.
I can't live like that.
Oh God, yeah, man. I can't imagine, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, my other movie thing that I forgot to bring up last week, but it's still kind of relevant. Like, is there anything that can make you want to see the Godfather Coda cut?
No, God, no. I don't understand.
I heard some people talking about it, and I heard, man, this is what Francis wanted it to be back in the day, and he's finally recut it. And I'm like, Francis Ford Coppola was Francis Ford Coppola when that movie came out. I just don't believe a few cuts here and there are going to make it worth a damn.
I am here to tell you that I cannot overstate how fucking sick I am of the blank cut. Mm-hmm. Who cares? Oh my God! The one obviously that I just don't understand is Zack Snyder's Justice League. What exactly do you think he's going to do to it to save it? I mean, do y'all think they literally made two completely different movies? I mean, seriously, people make it sound like that's what it's going to change everything, and I'm like, I just can't imagine. And maybe it's because I don't have any frame of reference. Never seen Justice League. Snyder's cut or Whedon's cut. Never saw it. Don't care to. But man, people are just like in the streets partying over this. I just don't understand why. I don't understand why, man. Because the whole point is, well, Whedon was a Marvel guy. We want our DC guy. Great. That's cool. But I'm as sorry as I can be. If you think you're ever going to get an on the left Avengers Assemble moment in DC, I'm sorry as I can be, baby. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen for you. I'm sorry you dug your heels in and decided that you weren't going to like that, because it was great for all of us that enjoyed it. Yeah. But, dude, I hope the Snyder Cut's great. I don't know why they have so much faith in him. I mean, Zack Snyder is like the M. Night Shyamalan that the fan base treats like M. Night Shyamalan treats himself. I just don't get it. I'm like, y'all, what have you ever seen of his that was so great that you just have this much faith in it? I don't get it.
You don't understand. He's going to make it longer. I've seen enough of Zack Snyder's long cuts that I'm like, no, thank you.
I'm the same way. I will never understand what it is that people are hanging on to. I don't get it. Like I said, he took the greatest comic book of all time and somehow made it. It's not that the movie's bad, but it damn sure ain't the book. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
it looks just like it, and that's fantastic that the recreation was so good.
Mm-hmm.
I've already complained about that on here many times, man. There's one fundamental element of Watchmen that was changed from the book to the movie, and it changes everything, absolutely everything. If the ultimate story at the end of the day is you're showing humanity Dr. Manhattan and being like, God, it's God's fault. It's all on God, as opposed to the book, which when it gets to the end, they basically hold the mirror up. And I've said it many times. I'll stand by it. My take on Watchmen is simply this. There's a reason the character is called the comedian. There's a reason he tells you it's a joke, because that's Alan Moore telling you at the beginning, this entire thing is a joke. And the joke's on you. Hope you can take it when we get to the end, because that's the whole point of, oh, the alien invasion is so stupid. And it's like, no, you reading a 12-part comic book and expecting it to solve nuclear war. That's the
Yeah.
ridiculous part.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, man. But yeah, Alan's a mean writer in the sense that people, going out of your way to make fun of the audience does not usually work out well for people.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't in that, because absolutely, I
Yeah.
can't find anyone that agrees with me. That's what the book's about. But I'm telling you, this is what the book's about. You watch any
Yeah.
interview with Alan Moore, not exactly a lot of bubbly love for humankind.
That's the only way I think you could make Godfather 3,
Ugh.
the Godfather Coda cut, interesting enough to watch. Are you going to go back to 1988 or 89, whatever it was, and give Robert Duvall his money he wanted? Are you going to uh, cut Winona Ryder into it in place of Sophia? You might have something. Outside of that, I just there's nothing that the first two. The people I were talking to were like, we're going to go back and watch those, and then we'll check it out, because we, for whatever reason, they've heard it was worth checking out. And I'm like, man, there's the Godfather 3 did such ill will to those two great movies. I don't want to go back and find out.
I, man, look, the movies that I wasn't interested in the first place,
Yeah.
a director's cut's not going to make me interested.
Mm-hmm.
Movies I watched and didn't like, I'm damn sure not going to give the director's cut a spin. I'm just when that
Yeah.
whole thing came up, I'm like, God, why are we doing this? Oh my
Yeah.
God, man.
Yeah. That's what I've always said about remakes is remake bad movies. Uh, don't remake the good ones. That still nobody's listening to me about that. But uh, I think I guess Godfather 3 by any other name probably could work, but you put that name on it, and that expectations are super duper high, and it just didn't quite get there. And I just don't see anything that even Francis Ford Coppola, especially considering what he's done since then, that's going to make me what's it? He'll fix it.
Yes, I don't understand it either. It's like, I guess my main thing with Coppola is, what's the last thing he put out again that people gave a crap about?
That's what I'm saying.
Seriously, The Outsiders is the last thing he got his name on that people cared about, and nothing to do with him.
Mm-hmm,
He just took a book that everybody loved and did a really good job of adapting that book.
mm-hmm,
But that's, yeah, I don't understand. And I guess the main thing is I just don't care. Because when I first got into movies, man, I did just like everybody else and had my Godfather phase. And the Godfather, oh my God, the Godfather, it's wonderful. Yay, haw, the Godfather. It's fine.
mm-hmm.
Godfather's okay. Godfather 2 is wonderful, except for Diane
Yeah.
Keaton, because Jesus Christ, is she bad in those movies. But at the same time, what was expected of actresses in 1974 is different than it is now, because Diane Keaton's not a bad actress, especially now. She's quite
Yeah.
good now, but it's just like, basically, it's I say it all the time about anything that Scorsese does. Marty does not care. Women in Scorsese movies are decoration. They just are. That's it. That's it. It's the reason that, not more so than anybody else, but he does live up to the old Hollywood trope of De Niro can be the leading man in everything, but his leading lady's going to be 24 years old, hell or high water. And Scorsese's like that. All you got to do is just go down the line. Basically, you had Kathy Moriarty in Raging Bull, who fell into his lap. That's just stroke of God, luckiest break on earth.
Mhm.
You had Sybil Shepherd in Taxi Driver, who was just cute. Everybody thought she was good looking, so she got the part. You had Sharon Stone in Casino. Wonder how she got the part.
Mhm.
Now, to be fair, and the one that is put on the pedestal of all of it, Scorsese's got lots of movies that are really good, but the pedestal movie is Goodfellas. Lorraine Bracco's in Goodfellas. You done good on that one. You done good because she's really good, and they actually fleshed that character out a little bit, and that's a great movie. It's awesome.
Mhm.
You get to Wolf of Wall Street, and we're just back to the old school ways. So okay, who's the livingest, Barbiest doll that will come to this audition? Margot Robbie. It's your part, and she's done good stuff. I don't mean to trip on her, man, because I thought Once Upon a Time in Hollywood she did really good, and
Mhm.
I don't know if cameo is the right word or not, man, but the scene that she did in Big Short is really good. I thought that was quite good because it's just I don't want to say anybody that can take a joke because the joke's not on her. The joke is on entertainment and the way it works because she's right. It's like, who the hell else is going to say all of these mathematical facts and figures and you'll pay any attention to? Oh, that's right. If I'm in a bubble bath up to here and it's me, yeah, you'll listen to this. It's
Yeah.
really quite funny. It's a really good scene, man. So I don't mean to diss her. I'm just saying that Scorsese does not really put a lot of care into his women. It's one of the massive differences between Marty and Tarantino. Because
Mhm.
Tarantino, it's not just the women. I think Tarantino, I've said it many times, and I love Quentin. I don't love him quite as much as some people do, but I do like him a lot. But one of my favorite things about him is I can't believe that a director that's that good, I guess it's because he writes the scripts too, that he actually gives a crap about those. But Quentin Tarantino, to me, probably more so than any other great director I can think of, absolutely loves actors, man. He
Mhm.
loves them, and it's just he really seems to, man, to where it's just like, now we're gonna have something real special here, and it's all the way down. It's quite cool, man. And again, Quentin's a weird one in that I don't know if there's a single Tarantino movie I ever need to see again. I like
But
them, but I've seen them, and I'm like, yeah, I'm probably good. I don't know if I ever need to
that's
see that again.
that's part of my feeling about talking about Godfather 1 and 2.
Mhm.
As
Well,
much as
you
I
had,
love them, as much as I think they're good, I I did the same thing where I had the DVDs and I just like I don't think I ever watched them once.
yeah, I can dig it. Yeah,
It's
I don't know if I did either. To be honest with you.
it's not especially considering the fact that the length of these movies they're tough to get through. On top of that, this is not a lot of rewatch value and some of that stuff unless like uh and there's there's a lot of reasons for that, but I just when it comes to rewatching stuff, I mean I'll throw on the comedy far more often than I would something like that.
Yeah, I can dig it. Yeah, like event movies, you just
Mhm.
I don't know, man. It's cool you see it, and it's good that you saw it. But I'm with you. I try. That's what I've done with most of the stuff that I keep now. Is I just pare down the collections to stuff I want to watch more than once.
Mhm.
That's like my Criterion stuff behind me, man. That's the one of those is the I don't know. It probably doesn't show up. The picture on here and then the picture when it's actually on YouTube are different, so it's probably not over
Yeah.
there. But it's the Whit Stillman trilogy, and I love those, so I'm keeping those. Pretty much
Mhm.
everything, not everything else, but I'm thinking I might just keep the box sets.
That's
That's
the way to
kind of
do
what
it.
I'm thinking is like get rid of everything else, and then
Mhm.
I got it. And this is stupid. I'm gonna wait till after Christmas now, but I've got Chunking Express. I've got to put that thing up because that's of all the ones I have, that one and probably La Jetée are the two that are worth the most. And it's like, hey man, if you want them, you can have them. It's y'all.
Yeah, man. Take this off my hands.
Yeah, man. Well, my main
Mhm.
thing is I need to do Chun King real quick because they keep talking about doing a Wong Kar Wai box set, and I'm like,
Mhm.
if I sell it now, I can actually get some good money for it. But if I wait
Yeah.
till after the box comes out,
Mhm.
no one's gonna
Cash
give it. No one's gonna give a damn.
cash out for the word gets out.
Yeah, dude, seriously, it sucks, but you know how it is. Anything you collect, that's well, not anything, but a lot of things you collect, that's always something you're up against.
Yep. Keep that filed away,
Yeah, man.
man. That's what's up when it comes to the news. I know that everybody's losing their mind about the football playoff. What are we gonna do, brother? I don't know.
There was a time, you know this, there was a time that discussions about a college football playoff, the college football play, it's my favorite thing in sports to talk about. And basically, just because ESPN bought it and said, yeah, the Confederacy, I'm done. I just don't care anymore. It's messed up. Like Georgia Tech and Pittsburgh played last Thursday. I didn't know about it till Friday. Georgia Tech played a football game, and it was on television, national television. Missed every snap. Have no idea. That's how in the woods or in the weeds I am with college. But I just don't care because it's a crappy television show, and it's just I don't believe it. I just don't believe any of it. It's like the oh, good old Tom doing it to the Falcons again. Did you not know that? Did you not feel that? I did. As a halftime, I'm like, here we go. This is it. Because it's only been set up all season. Because how many times have the Falcons been up big and then lost leads? Oh, crescendos and Tom Brady doing it to him again. And I'm like, how anybody can think this shit is real? Not to watch it, because hell, I sit and watch it, but I watch it like a television show because that's what it is. How anybody puts money on this shit, I will never understand. I will never understand you having that much faith that this crap is real, because it ain't. Anyway, sorry, got sidetracked. But yeah, college football, man, it's like, well, at least now people at ESPN are talking about expanding the playoff, and they're doing it because that contract is not infinite. It's not. Fox has already made it real clear not if, when we get the playoff, yeah, it's going to be more than 4 teams. So if you're wondering why ESPN is now even entertaining the notion of expanding the playoff, that's what's going on there. My issue remains my issue. It's always been my issue. If you go back to some of the earlier days on this here program, you'll hear me complaining about the same thing because I think I've been pretty consistent on this issue. Normally, I try to say I think on everything. Let me actually go back and recant that, I think. I motherfucking know I've been consistent on this because I've been saying this. I've been a college football fan for most of my life, and I say most because it ain't all anymore because I'm not a fan anymore. So I guess I'm not the guy to ask. But the point being that 4 teams was never enough. It's just how many schools do we want to cut this check over? So they went with the smallest number they could get. Now we're going to expand because Fox is basically telling 8 schools, you can go to 8 and you can go to 8, come to network TV, and you'll make more than you're making now at 4. So the colleges are like, oh, really? So now ESPN doesn't have a toehold anymore. I got sidetracked again. Sorry. The point being, if you have your playoff bracket filled out by a committee, I don't give a good goddamn if you have 150 teams in it. It's stupid and doesn't work. If it's not like any other playoff in the world where you have to play in before you play off, it's not going to matter. Until you basically tell the Big 12 to go fuck themselves, you divvy up those teams in your other Power 4 conferences. You have 4 major conferences, 4 of them, or the Pac-12. Just saw the Pac-12 off because nobody cares about it anyway. So whatever, however you want to do it. But stop with this Power 5 nonsense. Go to Power 4. And the winners of the Power 4 championship games go to the playoff automatically. Then what are you left with? You're left with 4 spots, just like you have now, and you can have this car crash bullshit. Ooh, the controversy. We love the controversy. This way you will have both. I'm giving you idiots in TV land what you want, and I'm giving us that actually like sports what we want. How does that not work? And the answer, until recently, is money. And no one ever wanted to say that, but it's like, yeah, the presidents of the schools, especially the SEC and ACC schools that have that Disney money coming in, don't want to share it with anybody. Except for that once every 3 years we have to give Notre Dame some, or we have to give Ohio State some. This is what I was telling Jared earlier, and it's true. Despite ESPN's best effort to make Alabama the face of college football, nobody outside of the Confederate States gives a good goddamn about Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, anybody else you can name in the Southeastern Conference. Nobody outside of this region gives a shit. They do not care, and it's the reason that your numbers and ratings and revenue on this sport suck. There are 2 teams in the country that anybody cares about. Notre Dame because they've always been the national bad guy, and Ohio State because they're the current national bad guy. That's it. So you got to let one of them in, or both of them in. Once every 3 years, one of them has to go. Has to go. And now you got both of them in. Oh, man, Notre Dame got beat by Clemson. Yeah, okay. Too fucking bad, huh? because now this year anyway, they're ACC. So, but that was the whole point. We talked about. I think you and I think we did this on the show. I know we've talked about it. That if you, I was talking about betting on sports earlier and how stupid it is.
Mm-hmm.
The most guaranteed, the biggest money guarantee you could have had in college football this year was that Notre Dame was going to play in the ACC championship. Now, why is that? Well, Brian Kelly's a fantastic coach, and he's got those good recruiting claims. It's got none of that shit. It ain't none of that shit. What network runs the ACC championship game? ABC? How often does ABC get to run Notre Dame? Big Notre Dame, like home games. They don't. So you knew when you got the guaranteed spot at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you knew they were going to go. Anyhow, I got sidetracked. But yeah, that's my thing is I would like to get excited, but college football playoff is crap, and you've got the one guy, I think it's, I don't know, Cincinnati, Coastal Carolina, one of the teams is going to get a job. And it's all like, well, we should go back to the BCS. It was better than this. It was, which is a wholly terrifying indictment on the playoff. That the BCS is better. And the BCS was trash. It was the same thing. But it's just the original BCS, as shitty though it was still better than this because you got two things. One, you had 8 spots because you had 4 gargantuan bowl games, 4 of them. Now you got 5 of them because whether people like it or not, the Peach Bowl is the Peach Bowl. It is. Whether people dig it or not, it is. And to be really honest with you, you have 12 spots because the Cotton Bowl is a monster too. Or at least it should be. But, Tostitos. It's a full Tostitos. So the Fiesta Bowl took over for the Cotton Bowl. All right. Peach Bowl's still the Peach Bowl. Anyway, I've gotten way sidetracked. But it's because I've said the same crap about college football for years. And now it's, man, it's going to be an 18 playoff. Great. Are there automatic bids for the conference champions?
Well,
and it's like, then you lost it. I've said that for years. I used to have that conversation with Rob Devenis, that I used to work with, the Jets fan, who I know is thrilled today because they finally got that win.
Yeah.
Oh, man, but it's going to cost us Trevor Lawrence. Don't worry, New York Jets. You're still the sorriest team in the entire league. You're still going to get that #1 pick. It's okay. But, yeah, man, it's like, I guess basically I could have saved everybody here a lot of time by starting out. This is what I should have said at the beginning. I cannot imagine the scenario. Actually, it's not that I can't imagine it. It doesn't exist. Anything that you do to change college football that does not include automatic bids for the conference champions is useless anyway. And honestly, even if you went to that now, man, I've been watching the pro guys too much, man, and it's kind of tedious. It is. Basketball was the same thing. Same thing. Once you watch the pros for a little while, it's hard to watch the college kids, man, because there's a whole big old steep mountain from one to the. And I guess it's the point I was saying earlier. I used to love college sports when I watched sports for emotion. Now I don't because I don't believe that it's real. So I just watch it to be entertained now. So if I'm watching it to be entertained, I want to see the best of the best of the best of the best, and I don't really care what you're up to on your academic center of higher learning. Ha ha ha. And also the NCAA doesn't make it hard to turn your back on college sports. Once you walk away from it, you feel a little bit better about not doing it anymore. It's like, okay, man.
Heck yeah. I get that, man.
That's a long way to say poor Texas A&M, poor Jimbo.
What am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
We played all our games.
Is that his quote? Is that his quote? We played all our games.
That was the long and short of it.
Okay, so basically the answer to the question then of who he thinks he should be in instead of is Ohio State. That's what that means. Because the Big Ten canceled games. All right, have fun with it. I think have fun.
Couldn't come out and directly call them out, but that was the gist of it that I got.
Needs to. If that's going to be their round 1 opponent, you got to do something to get people to watch it. So good luck with that. I know it sucks for you because you're not Big Daddy Papa Moneybags anymore. Because like I said, man, every 3rd, 4th year you have to go back to Ohio State. It's basically like going to what ESPN is having to do is go to their ex that broke up with them and then won the
Hat in
lottery.
hand.
Yeah, it's like y'all broke up because it's
Mhm.
like, I'm going to go try and do this thing on my own. Well, good luck, honey. And the Big Ten went off and did their own thing and got blindingly rich. Insane how much money those guys get from the Big Ten network and also from Fox because, again, ESPN can blow themselves all they want to, man. You're not Fox. Fox is a network. Network TV is different from cable TV. It's simple.
Big 12. How are you?
Hey, dude, the Big 12 is with Fox too. Big 12,
Mhm.
Pac-12, Big 10, they got 3 of them. So the Power
Yeah.
5, ESPN's got 2 of them, and it's like, hey, man, you guys spent 20 years undermining the ACC, and now you want everyone to think that they're the SEC's equal. You should have
Yeah.
thought more about that, shouldn't you, dumb shits? God dang, it's funny to watch this stuff fall apart, except it never will, because college sports and college televised sports are a really good example of why I dislike what capitalism actually is as much as I do. Because the whole thing, the romanticized version of capitalism is, hey man, you build that better mousetrap, you can be the next innovative millionaire, and that's just not true. It's not true at all. The only thing you can do now is come up with something that AT&T wants to buy you out for. That's it. That's all you can do. Because if you get too far out front and you do things too revolutionary, your patent gets balled up and you get disappeared.
Mhm.
That's how that works because it's government subsidized capitalism ain't capitalism, and that's what we have. Anyway, I got sidetracked, but that's why I hate that stuff because no matter how many stupid mistakes ESPN makes in the name of college football, they will never feel it because Mickey Mouse will always be there to, that's the cutoff man. No matter how sorry ass your throw is from right field, you got a good cutoff man. The relay to home still gets the runner.
Yep.
Excuse me. So they'll never feel it. It sucks.
Mhm.
But that's cool because at least there's other sports to watch. On the subject, man, oh God, I'm so happy. Last preseason game, the Hawks and the Grizzlies. I'm so glad I got to watch it, man, because I missed the hell out of the Hawks, dude. And then, excuse me, the preseason game before that one I missed. I was like, I can't believe I missed it. It's weird because it's preseason. But again, to the point, I would rather watch the Hawks play a game that doesn't count than watch Tech play games that are real. And boy, I never thought that would happen, but it's happened. College football is beyond an afterthought. I was telling my cousin that. He's like, man, no way. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you. I know it sounds crazy, and I never thought I would say it either, but I do not miss it at all. Anyhow, Hawks Grizzlies was really interesting because I have seen the Hawks play a lot of games where they were really entertaining and fun and good. They played good, and they get pipped at the end. Now I've seen the Hawks play like trash and win. It was unbelievable. Dude. We were awful pretty much the whole damn game, and then we wound up winning anyway. I'm like, well, crap, dude. Okay,
Right on.
yeah, dude. It was like, all right then. But I not to do the backup quarterback thing because everybody does this, and I love the Hawks starting 5. Love it. I love that unit. But man, they put that second unit out there. I'm excited by those guys too. And Reginald's not even back yet. But it's like, man, I'm digging this. This is cool, dude. But we've talked about it before, man. Basketball teams, the bench on basketball teams are so short, it doesn't take you long to develop opinions at the very least, but a kinship with individuals on the team. You learn guys pretty quick, and it was like, it's strange. I was going to talk with you about, I totally messed this up. But you get those articles like linked to you every now and again where it's all like, hey, you read that article about the Knicks one time, so here's everything about the Knicks ever, and stuff like that happens. Well, I got one of those with basketball, and it was probably just something to like a blog post. And I don't mean that as a diss at all, because honest to God, if you have a team that you like, blog post is the best place to go. They really are, because at the worst, it's just people regurgitating the crap from the sports page. And at their best, you'll actually get the opinions of, genuine fans and people that actually like the team. So I have never gone wrong reading those. At the very least, it's entertaining, and sometimes it's really informative and fun. Turns out, I was on one of those, and this guy was talking about a trade between the Spurs and the Hawks. And he was saying it was Rudy Gay and 2 first-round picks for John Collins. And apparently, idiot that I am, I missed the fact that this is one of those hypothesis sites where the guy's just like hatching. This is a Spurs site too, so they were putting thought into it. But it was all like, yeah, man, John Collins coming to San Antonio, 2 first-rounders and Rudy Gay to the Hawks. here we go. I totally missed the part that it hadn't happened. I completely read it as though it was something that, I read it as something that had happened. So I came very close, I think 2 shows ago, to coming on and explaining, I'm going to miss John Collins, but I'm all right with the deal. And here's why. It turns out it wasn't real anyway, but I did not know until the next Hawks game at 20's out there. I'm like, wow, that guy looks an awful lot like, wow, is the new number 20 named Collins too? It took me a long time to figure out that what I had read was just hypothetical. But it was cool, and it was a neat article, but I totally missed that it was like, this is not factual. I'm just thinking out loud. I missed that part.
Yeah. Gotta let me in on this.
Give
me that Smokey Robinson's cue. Like, hey man.
Dude, seriously, man. That's not how you say it.
We just spitballing here.
Yeah.
Well, man, it's time to start the Christmas special. I've been waiting to do that.
Yeah, I can dig it, man.
That's pretty much it's speaking of stuff that I have no interest in following. There was a TLC pay-per-view tonight, and even more, it's just come down to where when I listen to some of the reviews of shows and guys that not only just do match reviews but do like this step-by-step thing through the match, and shut up.
Yeah, you can go to like CBS, like I don't know if it's sportsline.com or just CBS.com, and they will give you their articles, just written blow-by-blow articles for the matches and then how it finished up and what their rating is. That's far more interesting than having somebody tell you. If I want to know, excuse me, if I want to know every step of the way, I'll just go read about it, man. But I'm with you. We've talked about it many times, and it's still the truth. WWE is like college football, man. It's like, it's not. It's weird when you say that. Well, I tell people I'm not watching college football. I mean it. There's other sports I watch, but wrestling, it's like there's so much other stuff you can be into. You don't have to follow WWE these days. You can skip it. It's not.
It's just too much of a commitment for something that I'm like, they don't want me.
This is not for me. I'm the same way. It's like, this ain't for me, so I'm gonna go over here and do this thing instead. And it's cool. I'm cool with it, man. But Final Battle was the other day, but I missed it. I just didn't.
I missed that. The only news that I know for sure came out of TLC tonight is Charlotte was the mystery partner for Asuka, which made the most sense. If you're gonna, you have to replace Lana because Nia Jax was doing her thing, and so Charlotte's back.
My thing, because people, it's very funny to me that the fat girl in WWE is the one that everyone loves to rake over the field. Oh, she's so dangerous. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, Randy Orton throws the Singh brothers through the fucking front barricade, but whoops, my dad. But we love to pick on Nia about this. We love to kill Nia about this. I'm sorry, was Nia holding the book where they were like, okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to go and put Lana through a table 13 fucking weeks in a row. It's like.
So this was willed to happen.
Oh, God, serious. They were going to keep doing it until it happened. But as far as Charlotte coming back and being tag champs with Asuka and all that shit, Charlotte's match, you got to have a belt of some kind. So it's fine. Whatever. And I love Charlotte, but it's like, all right, Flair's kid's got to have a title. So here, take this. It's fine. Yeah. But yeah, it's weird to me that you can't say AEW that their women's division is terrible and it's not good. But WWE's women's division is just like anything else in WWE. The division, as far as the talent, is wonderful. When's the last time they did a damn thing with any of them worth a shit? Yeah. Or let me rephrase that. When's the last time they did anything with any of them not named Bayley that was worth a shit? And the things with Bayley is that's only because, like we talked about it, and it might not even be true, but the report that I heard was that Randy, Fiend, Alexa, that's Vince. That's Vince's thing. That's what he's doing. That's his baby. And people started to turn on it. Meanwhile, while he's obsessed with that stuff, Triple H's thing is Roman and Bayley. And I'm like, doesn't surprise me a bit. Doesn't surprise me one bit, because the whole thing about, well, if Triple H took over WWE, it would just be NXT. I wish that was the case, but that's not the case. NXT was always supposed to be its own thing. which is developmental, which is more match based, because getting guys in the ring and letting them learn how to work, that's what that was supposed to be about. But if you think that Trips is going to take over WWE and forget about the popcorn and the sizzle, he knows that too. He made a lot of money in that company. So anyway, all that junk is just dumb, but I don't feel bad not watching WWE. There's several people I wish would leave, honestly. That's a fun thing. It's like if you could get, somebody was talking about WWE and New Japan working together. It's like, it's going to be hilarious if they like get there. Me and the AEW people are going to be so mad. And I'm like, Vince will never do co-promote. He won't do it. And also, he is going to expect New Japan to honor his trademarks, and they won't do it. It does not work that way. Intellectual property law in the United States is a fucking mess. Nobody else in the world does it that way. So it might happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it did lead. It was all like, what matches would you most want to see? So instead of being the negative jerk like I just was, I'm like, man, I don't want to do that negative stuff. So I'll just answer the question of like, what are the first matches that come to mind? WWE roster, New Japan roster. The first, last, and only thing that came to mind is Okada and Cesaro, man. Oh my God, that would be the coolest thing. I can't even imagine how cool that would be. I would love it. That Cesaro is a guy that I would love to see. AEW's fine, but wherever he goes is cool with me. If he gets used, that's all I care about. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked on all that stuff. But as far as WWE and New Japan, man, I hope, oh God, because I've said before, maybe not on here, but I'll say it now, for all of the getting the band back together, Kenny and Machine Gun and all that good Bullet Club stuff, which, by the way, they did mention on the air a week ago because they have a working relationship with New Japan. So there you go. All that's great, and I love it. And Carl Anderson and Tama Tonga are real tight with each other. So again, infiltrating New Japan is really where I'm hoping all this is going. And if you want to have a big blow-off brouhaha for the Bullet Club, that'd be great. If Vince McMahon has a solitary brain cell left in his head that has not been taken over, excuse me, by red meat and protein shakes, he will sign the release that says Prince Devitt is reborn for at least one more go around. Because what a cool way to retire the Bullet Club than to have Devitt come back and do it. I don't think you can do it otherwise. But that would be the thing. If he's smart, you will do the Bullet Club crossover for a couple of reasons. One, you might possibly be able to sneak a WWE logo onto those Bullet Club shirts and then get a cut, which would be good for you. Two, you know you're going over. You know WWE will be walking tall, like we talked about before, man, because anything they get involved with, it's not that, well, they won't do it if they don't get to go out on top. It's that they shouldn't. That's not a diss at all. It's like, that is the biggest company in the world. And if you're going to work with us, you're going to work with us. Hey, man, that's okay. Them having that attitude is completely okay. It's more the same, where it's like, stop telling me capitalism is the greatest thing in the whole wide world, because at the end of the day, money talks. Not really. Not if you're going to dig your head in the sand and leave this money on the table because, well, I have my name rig out. I got to be the strongest and the best. And it's like, you going to get that. But you just, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, man. And that's all pie in the sky junk. AEW and Impact haven't even gone to New Japan yet. But that would be the cool. If you had two Wrestle Kingdoms from now, freaking Demon Prince Devitt show back. Oh my God, that'd be the coolest thing ever.
In the world.
That'd be the coolest thing ever, man. Holy crap. And I'm very excited about Kenny going back, but Bullet Club Kenny stuff is fine, but the Golden Lovers payoff is what all of us want, man. That's yeah, we need it. We need it. That would be so cool, man.
Get that down, man.
Yeah, man. I don't hate that Kenny's doing the belt collector. I get it. It's just that's what I was hoping the Bucks would do. Yeah, they still might. They still might. You can just have a stable, just OG stable, man. Over gold.
The belt triad.
Dude, sure, just get everything, man, for real.
Yeah, man.
Oh Lord.
That's what's up, man.
That sounds about right to me too.
Y'all have a good Christmas.
Yeah, man, seriously, man. Thank you for watching. And have an awesome Christmas season and a dadgum happy New Year.
A Christmas day.
Yeah, have yourself a merry little Christmas day.
Nice.
It feels so darn good.
That was the special.
It was the Christmas special.
That's what's up, man.
Dude, take it easy, all right, man. Have a good one,
I'll
y'all.
see you. I'll see y'all.